Hey, what is going on, everybody? Junior with Jet Pedals here, and today I wanted to talk to you about our Jet Micro. The Micro has been through quite a few revisions, and we have yet to release a new updated video on some of the features and things. So this video is going to go over everything Jet Micro, how to set up your Stomp, and just kind of go over the global settings within the Stomp and within the Jet Micro, and show you everything that has been added over the last couple years or so. So let me be clear, nothing new has been added to the Micro recently. This is just a new overview video showing all the features that we have added over the last year or so. So let's dig into our pedal board and have a look. Okay, so this is our pedal board shot. It's a little bit dark, but we wanted to make sure you could see the LEDs and then the screen on the Stomp with as much clarity as possible for this video. So let's dig in. So the Jet Micro is a fully pre-programmed MIDI controller where you do not have to do any MIDI programming, and it controls all the functions of the HX Stomp. So it can, right now it has access to up to 6 blocks. It does snapshots, preset scrolling, tap tempo, and the tuner, as well as it covers some of the most popular features on the looper. So let me kind of just give you a quick demonstration of what that looks like. So a short press of each button will turn on and off blocks. So you can see this simple delay is turning on, and then as we go through, you can see each block turning on. So that's the short press. We also have double presses built into the switches. So if you double press, you'll see the blocks come on. Double press, and then you can also see that we have different colored LEDs. So if we double press, you get the green LED that comes on and off, and then if you single press, you get a red LED. And now when both blocks are on, the red and green LEDs come on and it makes it turn orange. So you always have a visual indicator of what is turned on and off on your Micro or within your Stomp. So that's how those work. And then we also have the ability to control snapshots. So as you can see, we're in snapshot number 3 right now. If you do a long press of each button, you'll pull up snapshot 1, snapshot 2, and snapshot 3. So let's just do that real quick. A long press is a hold for a second and release, and then you'll notice it changed to snapshot 1, and then this will be snapshot 2, and snapshot 3, excuse me. And then if you want access to the tap tempo or the tuner, the Micro can do that as well. You just do a long press of all 3 buttons, and you'll see the bank change to a blue color here. It's not exactly blue due to the lighting, but you get the idea. So then button C now controls your tap tempo, and you can see the rate LED changing with the tap. And then you also have access to the tuner. So this turns the tuner on and off. And then if you want to get out of this bank and return back to the red bank, you just press the B button and it jumps you right back, or you can take over and turn off your blocks and kind of go from there. So preset scrolling is another feature which is built in. You just press down both buttons and you can scroll up and down presets. If you hold down the buttons, you'll see it doing a fast scroll through the presets. So you can hold down here and it does it the same way forwards and backwards. And then we also have the looper bank. So if you do a short press, if you do a short press of all 3 buttons, then you'll notice the LED change green, telling you that you are in the looper bank. So in order to get the looper to work, you also have to install a looper block within the Micro. So there's a looper here, and that block is tied to this switch. Now it doesn't have to be bound to a switch. It's just on the switch for the demo, so you can see what the Micro is doing and the functions of that. So A is record and overdub, and then C is play, and B is stop. So we'll just, as soon as you hit record, the LED looks orange on this Stomp, but it's actually red. So you'll have a red LED on the Micro and a red LED on the switch. It's basically letting you know you're recording, but you get that visual indication here on the Micro as well. And then when your loop is playing back, as soon as you hit the C button, this turns green, letting you know you're playing. And then anytime you want to overdub, you just hit A, and now this LED is orange, as well as you can see the orangish looking color LED on the Stomp, and then back to play. So now we're playing our loop, our original loop, and then our overdubbed loop. You can stop that at any time, and then you can also turn that back on by playing. Now, if you want to get out of this loop and go back and turn on and off some different blocks or effects, all you have to do is double tap the C button, which keeps the loop playing. You can see the loop is still playing by the green LED here on the Stomp. And now we're back in the red bank. So the red bank, you can still use this to turn on and off any effects you want. It works just like it would in the red bank. And then when you want to get back to your tuner, you just do that short press. You can see it's still playing, and then you can stop it at any time. Now, if you want to completely stop the looper and get out of this bank, you just hold down the B button for 1 second and let go, and that returns to your red bank, and then you'll notice that the looper is stopped and it's ready to be cleared out or start another loop. So that is how the looper features work. Okay, so now let's actually show you how to set up the HX Stomp so it will receive MIDI messages from the micro. And this is a really quick process. You just go into the global settings by pressing both page buttons, tab over to where it says global settings, hit that button, and then you want to highlight your wheel to this little MIDI command. So if I come over here, and just highlight the MIDI command, it's MIDI base channel 1 is what you want. So just if your HX Stomp is set to any other channel than 1, just scroll down to 1, and then once you exit the global settings, now you're set to receive messages from the micro. Okay, let's also take a second and show you how to bind any of the switches, whether they're single presses or double presses, and how we bind that to the actual HX Stomp. So let's page on over to a preset that I had created earlier, and it has some blocks on there already, but there's nothing bound to it. So these switches, you'll notice, aren't doing anything. You'll get the lights that turn on and off, but the blocks aren't bound to the micro. So what we do in this case is we need to go into this view. Sorry, you press the view button, and then you can highlight whatever block you want to turn on and off. So let's just start with this kinky boost. We're going to assign it to the short press of A. So go into the menu by hitting both page buttons, and then you want to hit the bypass assign button. Once you've done that, tab over twice. So there's one page, and then there's a second page, and you'll have this little guy, this thinking cap guy that says learn. Just press that button, and now it's waiting for you to send a MIDI message. And whenever you hit a button on the micro, that's actually sending a message. So if we want to bind it to the short press, we just hit the A button, and now you can see that it indicated that it changed. So if we go back, now it just got that message, so it thinks it's on. So you have to turn this off again. And now when you turn this on, you'll notice the block come on and off. The block will be on and off. There's another way you can do this. You can assign. Let's actually real quick, let's show you how to assign the deluxe comp. Let's assign that to the double tap of the A button. So you go through the same process. You highlight the block that you want, go into the menu, and then hit bypass assign. Page over twice where it says MIDI learn. Click the learn button. Now instead of pressing the A button once, it sends a different MIDI message for the double tap. So then just double tap it, and you'll see that it received the message, so you can page out. And now once that's off, you'll see that the block will now turn on every time this turns on and off. So now you have bound a block to the double press, and then the kinky boost to the single press. So there you're turning that one off, and then now you're turning this one off. Another cool feature is that if let's say you want to assign multiple blocks to come on and off with this short press. So we have this kinky boost here. Let's scroll over to that kinky boost. And then when you go into the menu, there's the bypass assign. You can see that it says MIDI in CC5. So it's receiving a CC number 5 from the Jet Micro. So that's important to note. So let's head on over here to this optical trim. We're going to go into the menu. We're going to hit bypass assign. And then when you tab over to MIDI, you just scroll that up to 5. And then when you back out of this, since it's off and the kinky boost is off, when you press this, they're both going to come on and off at the same time. So you can bind as many buttons as you want to the micro switches, and you can also do that with effect parameters as well. So speaking of effect parameters, let's head on over to this delay. Let's say we want to control the feedback of the delay. We want it to go up or down with the B button. So again, we go into the menu, and then this time we hit controller assign, because this is going to control a value up or down. So we go there, and now it's going to ask, what do we want to control? And I said, what did I say? Feedback. So we highlight feedback, and then we page over again for MIDI learn. We hit the learn button, and then just hit the B button. You can see that it has bound to that now. And then if you want to control like the minimum and maximum value of repeats or feedback, let's say feedback is 30 at minimum, and let's just leave it at 100 on maximum. Now you'll see that when we turn the B button on and off, you'll see the feedback. Not only is it not green anymore, it's white. It lets you know that it's tied to one of our switches. And then when you toggle this switch on and off, you'll see the feedback mix, or the percentage of feedback goes up and down just like you had set it. Now, of course, once you do all this, don't forget to save your preset before you exit, or else you're going to lose all of your changes. And then I think that about covers it. We've done the short press, we've done the double press, and then we've also assigned the effect parameters. And you can also do multiple effect parameters underneath one switch, just like we did in the with toggling the switch on and off. So if you wanted your amp gain to go up and you wanted to roll off some bass as that gain goes up, you can control both of those parameters at one time with one switch. So that's a very handy feature. But now let's talk about, let's actually show you a little bit more about the global settings within the micro. So within the micro, we have 3 different global settings in here. One of those is that it can send MIDI messages to external pedals just besides the HX Stomp, but it's pretty limited. It's really for those that kind of use the Stomp as an all-in-one and maybe have like a reverb or a delay external on their board. And so whenever whenever the micro sends out a message for a snapshot, in this case, it'll fire out a message. So it'll fire out a preset message. So it'll call up one of the first 3 presets on your external pedal. So snapshot 1 would be preset 1, snapshot 2 would be preset 2. So this is already set up that way by the factory. If you go onto our user manual, you'll see what messages it sends, because some pedals will want the first message to be PC0 and other pedals want it PC1. So we kind of give you a guideline of which pedals are which in our manual. But let's say you don't want that. It's affecting your pedal for some reason. It's getting in the way. So when to enter global settings, you just shut off power to your board or to the micro. You don't have to shut the whole board off. And then when it's firing back up, you'll notice the LEDs are blinking. You hold down the A button, and you'll notice it's stopped on green. I'm still holding down the A button, and green means, green is go. We're going to be sending those preset messages whenever we send snapshots. So if you don't want that, just hit the C button. It turns red, letting you know you're turning it off. And so let's say I want it off on this micro. In order to save that, just let go of the A button, and now you're out of that mode, so it won't send MIDI messages anymore. Another feature that we have on here is turning on or off the double press. Some people may not want that double press turned on, and let me show you why. So let's go back to that other preset. So you'll notice when I hit this, there's a slight delay before the block turns on, and that's because it's giving me time to do a double press. So if you're the kind of person that doesn't need to access 6 blocks with the micro, and you really don't want that latency within the pedal when you're pressing that double press or even single press, you can turn that off in global settings as well. So let's shut this down. Let's fire that board up, and then this time we're going to be holding down the B button. You'll notice it's a solid color. This is green, means go again. And once we're holding down the B button, that lets us know that, this is the mode for turning on and off the double press. So if you were to hit it, green or red, if you were to hit it red and let go, it saves that in global settings. And now we won't have access to the double press, and the latency is greatly reduced. So it's almost immediate now when the block turns on and off. And then if we double press, it just doesn't come on. That mode doesn't work. So that's how you turn on and off the double press feature. And then the last, let's go ahead and turn that back on so you can just see how that saves itself again. But hold down the B button, Turn that on green and then let go. Okay, so the last feature that we want to talk about in global settings is giving you access to the always on tap tempo. So let's switch to the board. In this case, we do have it in stomp mode with FS3 set for tap tempo. So to me, that's always on. You can always access your tap tempo here and you don't have to go into the blue bank. Some other people's their board layout may be different and they don't want to reach the tap tempo all the way on the stomp. So we did give you the ability to turn on one of these buttons as a dedicated tap tempo. So there is one drawback to that. Whichever button you assign it to, A, B, or C, you will lose the ability to turn on and off blocks or toggle the effect parameters. And you will also lose the ability to call up that snapshot because what we're doing is just as soon as you press that C button, it's firing tap tempo immediately, so you don't have any kind of clock issues or latency with that button. So let's show you what that looks like. Let's go back over to the board. We're going to cycle power back off and on again, and then you're going to hold down the C button this time. And then you'll notice it turns black. So black means that the tap tempo is actually off. So when you press the A button, it's going to cycle through the red, green, and blue colors. And what that means is your red assigns your tap tempo to the A button, green to the B button, and then blue to the C button. So let's just leave it assigned to the C button. We let go. And now this is going to give us an always on tap tempo right here on the C. So you'll see tap tempo updating immediately with the C button. And now the no more blocks are turning on and off. So you can still scroll with the preset. It's going to get a little messed up with your tap tempo, but you'll always be able to tap that back in. So you still have the ability to scroll presets, but now you have an always on tap tempo. So I'm going to reset that to off. We'll just show you one more time here. Turn power back on, hold the C button down, and then turn this until the LED is off, and then let go. And then that's simple. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That covers all of the features about the Jet Micro. And if you do have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below in the comments section. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. Thanks.